Good, happy Monday evening, December 13, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Monday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, Omicron variant of COVID-19 detected for the first time in New Hampshire resident. Variant detected in resident who traveled out of state. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability of Kubota
Tom and Monica, the first case of the Omicron variant in New Hampshire was expected, according to health officials. At least 25 states have reported similar infections since the new strain was found in South Africa. In fact, health officials say it's likely Omicron spread to many parts of the world before it was even reported. As for the first case right here in the Granite State, officials say the person was fully vaccinated but not boosted yet. They're said to have a mild illness and to have recovered during isolation. Experts say right now the Delta variant is the most dominant in New Hampshire, but the Omicron might overtake it as it's thought to be more contagious. Lab testing suggests boosters may give more protection against it. Dr. Armanio Mendoza from Wentworth Douglas Hospital says it's vital we all do our part, including vaccinating and keeping up with good hygiene.
The reality is we're going 2 years now, and we're not getting better. We're getting worse. I understand the reality is we're not hermits. We're not recluses. We cannot stay at home the whole time. I mean, we're all going out in there. But at the same time, let's be responsible.
Research is currently underway to find out exactly how the new variant spreads and whether it tends to cause more severe or mild symptoms. Reporting live, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Seven more COVID-19 deaths reported in New Hampshire as cases and hospitalizations fall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated.
Well, Tom, the first person to test positive for Omicron here in New Hampshire is said to have been fully vaccinated but not boosted.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. That is the wrong video. 7 more people have died in New Hampshire of COVID-19 as active cases and hospitalizations have fallen somewhat from their recent record highs. State health officials said the 7 people who died were all age 60 or older. One death was associated with a long-term care facility. There have been 1,788 deaths attributed to COVID-19 since the pandemic began. Lawsuit challenges constitutionality of divisive concepts law passed by GOP legislative majority. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability.
Monica, the American Federation of Teachers New Hampshire is the lead plaintiff in the lawsuit, which was filed in U.S. District Court in Concord Monday. Now, the union argues that the law curtails free speech and limits the free exchange of ideas in the classroom because it has scared some educators from teaching history, afraid that they'll violate the law. Now, the bill was originally called Divisive Concepts, but was rewritten by Senate Majority Leader Jeb Bradley and signed into law by Governor Chris Sununu as part of the state budget. In a statement to News 9, Bradley argued the law does not limit free speech and said it simply prohibits teaching students that they are superior or inferior to people of another race, sex, gender identity, religion, status, or national origin. Ryan Terrell with the State Board of Education agrees with that. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit do not.
This is one of the few such lawsuits in the nation aiming to protect educators from the recent onslaught of politically motivated state laws that put teachers at risk simply for discussing honest historical and societal concepts in their classrooms.
We want our children to know about slavery, its effects on African Americans and other disparaged minority groups. What this law is simply saying is when you teach that language, when you teach that class, don't end it in saying that makes this race inferior or superior than another person.
And Commissioner of Education Frank Edelblut declined comment to News 9 pending the litigation. Live in studio, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Exeter police seek 3 people after man stabbed in leg in hotel. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability.
Well, hi, Amy. We're here outside the Exeter Inn where police say it happened early this morning. They say the suspects are still at large, but that they call this an isolated incident, so the public shouldn't be concerned. Authorities were called here to 90 Front Street at about 3 a.m. after a hotel guest made his way to the front desk with a stab wound to his leg. Initial units applied a tourniquet to the man's leg until he could be taken by ambulance to the Exeter Hospital. Police say the victim told them he'd been robbed by 3 people, a woman and 2 men, and that they also brandished a firearm.
The victim knew one of the suspects, so it was a targeted robbery in that room specifically. So once the victim sustained those injuries, those 3 suspects left the area.
Police say they are following leads, but are asking anyone with information to contact them or the local Crime Stoppers. For Live in Exeter, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Federal investigators examine wreckage of plane after fatal crash in Bedford. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955 when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors.
Well, Amy, behind me, you can see that crews are still here on scene, removing what's left of that wreckage here from the Merrimack River. Now, investigators from the FAA and the NTSB, they are continuing to search for any clues that will help them find out exactly what led to this crash. Multiple pieces of the plane are being removed, and most likely they'll be taken for examination. The pilot of the plane and the sole occupant was 23-year-old Manny Volomakis of Michigan. He was transporting medical supplies from New Jersey to Manchester at the time of the crash. A final radio call from that small turboprop plane gives us an indication that the plane may have experienced engine failure during the final descent into Manchester Boston Regional Airport. Now, Manny's mother, she tells us that she has no doubt that her son sacrificed himself to avoid hitting any homes in the area of the airport. As details become more available in this investigation, we'll be sure to keep you updated.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Kentucky tornadoes. More than 100 people unaccounted for. Death toll stands at 74. Let's take a look at this video.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated.
Want the baby?
Pray that they find us somewhere to go. Every day, every time. I just hope they find us somewhere to go. Because I don't have family here. I spent $300 on this Christmas. And I just went grocery shopping that morning. And got, $200-300 of groceries and put in the house. We're pretty much going to be here for Christmas, New Year's, and for his birthday in this little shelter in this church. Play pool?
Residents of a Kentucky town devastated by a tornado could be without heat, water, and electricity in chilly temperatures for a long time. The mayor warned Monday as officials struggled to restore service after a swarm of twisters leveled neighborhoods and killed dozens of people in 5 states. On Monday, the governor said the death toll is up to 74 in the state, and there are more than 109 people who still have not been found. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.